Welcome again. We will resume our discussion with submersible pump. Various varieties of submersible pumps are shown in this figure. So this is how the commercially available submersible pump looks like. Let us go into the details. But before that, just give a look to this word submersible. It means the thing which can be submerged, kept under water or liquid. So it is very obvious that this is a pump which can be submerged into the water. But the problem is most of the designs comes with the motor itself. Means the in a single pack you have motor and impeller and casing assembly. So whenever you will submerge the pump into the water or liquid, the electric motor also will have to be submerged. And there the short circuit problem may take place. But this is avoided with the development of technology. It became possible to provide special protection to all these electrical parts and avoid the entry of water into this section. So with this development, we could develop this submersible pump also. So we have these electrical compartments specially insulated so that this problem will not occur. These submersible pumps are similar to multi-stage centrifugal pump. The liquid, as you can see here, we have various stages which are connected in series. So the liquid leaving each impeller is transferred towards the suction opening of the next impeller, and lastly it is connected to the delivery pipe. Each pumping stage, that is impeller and its casing or diffuser, increases the pressure of the liquid. Advantage, it provides significant lifting force as it doesn't rely on external air pressure to lift the fluid. What it means, we have seen in the earlier design, the suction pressure created at the inlet of the impeller, that is eye of the impeller, can be maximum up to atmospheric pressure minus vapor pressure. So there is limitation there. Otherwise, cavitation will take place and it will affect the performance of the pump. But here, the pumps are submerged into the water and there is a positive head acting at the suction side, and that's why these limitations are not there in submersible pump. There are no suction losses. Obviously, the suction pipe itself is say having the positive pressure, and that's why the related losses are avoided. Provides safety and noiseless and quiet operation being submerged in water. Provides higher flow rates and higher heads because all the energy or the head supplied by the impeller is used as a can be used as a delivery head, so it can give comparatively higher heads. Applications: these pumps are used for drainage, sewage pumping, general industrial pumping, slurry pumping, and it is suitable for water supply from wells or reservoirs for domestic use, for civil and industrial applications and irrigation. See, these sound similar to earlier applications. Of course, it is a type of similar to centrifugal pump. That's why applications are also similar. But here you can submerge it into the water, and that's why the suction head problem or the suction head dropping below the vapor pressure and leading to cavitation can be avoided. Or it can be used in vending machines where the pump itself is submerged into the liquid which is to be supplied. So in our day-to-day life we are using a lot of vending machines for different liquids. So there this pump can be used. So applications are similar, but mind well that here we are submerge in the pump into the liquid. So that is the difference. Now jet pump, we have already seen something about jet pump when we were discussing priming of centrifugal pump and self-priming devices. There we have used jet pump for priming purposes. So it is the same jet pump. So it can be used in combination with centrifugal pump as a self-priming device, or in its simplest form it can be used as a separate jet pump, which consists of a pipe having a convergent end at its bottom, and other end of the pipe is connected to delivery pipe. The upper end of the pipe leads to the required height, and it is generally used for lifting water for boilers. It can be used for steam as well as water. So steam or water under high pressure is introduced through a nozzle. So there is requirement of water tank or high pressure steam available somewhere. The pressure energy of steam is converted into kinetic energy as it passes through a nozzle. I will show you in the next slide a figure where this construction is shown. As a result of this, the pressure in convergent portion of the pipe is considerably reduced and water is sucked into the pipe. The sucked water, after coming in contact with the jet, is carried into the delivery pipe. Here the kinetic head of the water stream is converted into pressure head, which forces the water into the delivery pipe. Let's try to understand the same with this figure. You can see here a pump with jet pump. Here is the construction of jet pump, which looks like this from inside. You can see nozzle, throat, divergent type of arrangement, and in the nozzle convergent section there is another nozzle. So the pipe, this pipe is having this convergent end or nozzle end here, which is fitted into another venturi type of arrangement. So when the high pressure water passes through this nozzle, the pressure is converted into kinetic energy, and it creates suction pressure here. Partial vacuum is created here. This vacuum created causes lifting of water from this sump. So this is how the water coming through this pipe is causing suction of this water. Both the water bodies get mixed here. They are carried along through this convergent, throat and divergent section, and into this divergent section again the kinetic energy is further converted into pressure energy so that it can be delivered at the given location. So this is how the jet pump works. Again, we will take a short break here, and in the next part or the last part we will discuss the centrifugal pump characteristics. Thank you.